What is up YouTube, and welcome to the top things you missed from the WandaVision and Loki trailers. I apologise this is up so late, but it was overnight in the UK, and Friday is a Mandalorian day for my channel, and a little game called Cyberpunk 2077 has actually got my attention. But there was some huge things from the trailers tucked away in blink and you'll miss it moments, and I will be bringing you the sneaky little things that Marvel snuck right deep into both of these trailers. So we will get started with a Loki trailer, and at number 1, well, the trailer was amazing and is looking like a procedural crime thriller, and one of the moments I want to talk about is Black Widow. Yes, you heard me correctly. There was a shot when we saw all the adventures that Loki will be going on with Owen Wilson's character, Mr. Mobius, an agent of the Time Variance Authority, a group who snip timelines deemed too dangerous to exist. Well, we see a blink and you'll miss it shot of Natasha Romanoff, aka Black Widow, on what looks like Vormir. Yes, that's interesting, as this could be a path for the Black Widow to return from death if Loki decides to go rogue and allow a timeline when Natasha comes back. And boy, that would be wild, as yes, I would be very, very interested to see where that goes next. Considering this is a pivotal time moment, well, let's just hope. Now, it's more than likely that this isn't going to be Natasha Romanoff herself, but it is more than likely going to be the female Loki who was cast for the show, who you can see on your screen here. Now, next up is number 2, and well, this is the mother flipping X-Men, baby. Yes, when we saw Mobius and the Trickster descend into the TVA headquarters, we see a panel and there is an X. Well, what the hell does that mean? Well, it looks like each one of these floors are different parts and departments who would deal with, well, different things throughout time and possibly the multiverse. Well, the TVA are in charge of time, and the X-Men are notorious time travelers, and they will be coming here into the MCU. Now, most recently, when Beast brought back the younger version of the X-Men to try and convince Scott Summers to kind of, well, not be a terrorist, that would be interesting, because I think that maybe, just maybe, what if this did actually happen and keeps happening, only for the TVA to be in a perpetual battle of stopping the X-Men from existing as they're far too dangerous? Now, more on that in a second as we descend into number 3. We have Kang the Conqueror. Yes, while Kang, played by Jonathan Majors, will be the main villain of Ant-Man 3, now called Quantumania, and oh my god, they were this close to perfection. They could have called it Quadrophenia after Quadrophenia, but he features above the imposing room in the Loki trailer. Now, Kang, aka Nathaniel Richards, is a time traveller from Earth 6311. Now, that version is called Immortus, and sought to conquer time himself. He even has his own Council of Kangs in the comics, which is what this looks like. It does look like we are having a Council of Kangs. Now, the Prime Kang was from Earth 616. This is big, as it seems he may have founded the TVA in the MCU Earth. The Council of Kangs were from different versions across the multiverse, which explains the quantum realm being used in Ant-Man 3 and why he may well be a major villain. As a sort of 3.5, I do think the TVA are messing with multiple realities leading into the multiverse of madness, and I do think that possibly we might have an explanation as to why and where the X-Men actually are. Now, at number 4, it does look like Vote Loki will be a plot point, as he can be seen with a Vote Loki pin. It looks like the People's Planet timeline, or wherever the heck he is, will actually be his followers, and it looks like they will be Mongol people, and they actually are going to support him. Now, in Vote Loki, released in 2016, he ran for president, so I do wonder if he will do the same here. Now, at number 5, this is very weird, as we see Tom Hiddleston as Loki as a suave man, but it looks like he will be manipulating history, as he looks like D.B. Cooper. This D.B. Cooper actually hijacked a Boeing 727 over Seattle and received a ransom and parachuted out of the plane, only to never be caught. Now, interestingly, as he departs the plane, he says, "Brother Heimdall, you better be ready," as he goes to parachute out of the plane, and it looks like he is indeed being given missions by the TVA to do. However, one thing is interesting. It looks like he is actually holding Mjolnir. It's not seen, but it looks like it has been edited out. At number 6, we see Roxxon subsidiary Roxcart. Of course, Roxxon were featured heavily in Agent Carter and then seemingly forgotten about. This shows how Loki may tie in with Thor Love and Thunder, as Gorr is the villain. The next main villain after Gorr in the comics was actually Dario Agger, a cursed Minotaur and the leader of Roxxon, who moved his mining operations to New Asgard. Now that is interesting, and I don't know how heavy they're going to go with Love and Thunder and if Dario Agger actually features in it, but it does sound like they are heading towards a cross-section there. At number 7, it does look like he will visit multiple timelines as where the Avengers lost, and even a broken planet. I like to think in my headcanon is Earth for when Quake destroyed it in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And at number 8, we have a bonus one for you here, as we had a sizzle trailer for Miss Marvel, which may have shown her origins as an Inhuman. She has a blackboard showing her life story of getting her powers, and you can see Maximus, the younger brother of Black Bolt, and in the Inhumans TV show, he did try to steal the Inhuman royal family throne. This hints that the Inhuman royal family will appear, and she got her powers after Black Bolt launched the Terrigen Mists into the sky after the Infinity storyline. The Terrigen clouds actually roamed the planet and turned people, or at least unlocked the Inhuman gene, but they also killed mutants. Now at number 9, we do have a tenuous link to the High Evolutionary as we move into the WandaVision trailer, as we see a man called Herb. Now stick with me on this one, as the High Evolutionary's real name is Herbert Wyndham. Now let's cast our minds back to 2015, ahead of Age of Ultron and the twins' debut. Marvel actually retconned Wanda's life of being a mutant to being a failed experiment of the High Evolutionary. Well, what if the High Evolutionary was actually the puppet master of the Hydra experiments? Now, the High Evolutionary was someone who, as you guessed it, he gained a lot of knowledge of really crazy wildlife and all manner of beings in the universe, and even created his own Earth, the Counter Earth. Now, if you're having Kang, you can absolutely fit in the High Evolutionary. Now, at number 10, we have in the WandaVision trailer, we see a glimpse of the Soul Stone. Now, what if they are stuck in a moment of the Soul Stone being broken, as Wanda then became catatonic? After this, she's kept at a sword facility, only for her to have a breakdown, creating a dome of a pocket reality. Now, I do believe that the Soul Stone is actually supercharging her powers and making things 10 times worse, explaining why we were seeing Monica Rambeau go into this world and her not recognize her, because it doesn't fit with her warped reality as she creates Vision back into reality. Now, interestingly as well, in the comics, when the Infinity Gems, as they are called in the comics, get destroyed, they do have a way of sort of coming back from absolutely nothing, just like the Soul Stone here. The universe has recreated it from Wanda's reality, mentioning kind of problems, and the Space Stone as well has willed itself back into the timeline, as we saw Loki there have it. Now at number 11, we also have a brand new suit from the poster, and at 12, Wanda even has a poster of the Sokovia castle that she got her powers from. Now at number 12, in the trailer for Loki, we did actually see a hint at Mephisto. So we did see a stained glass painting of the devil, and it does look like people are worshipping Mephisto there. Mephisto obviously being the devil of the Marvel universe, and was actually featured heavily with Ghost Rider, of course. So it does look like we're getting some big stuff here. Now there are some other bits and pieces that mop up while I was editing. Now it did look like we see a pose of Loki when he's being shown his life by Mobius, and well, he does a pose from Ragnarok he hasn't done yet. And of course, well, this is early on in his MCU career, as it's just spun out of Avengers, so that's pretty cool as well. And throughout the show we see different timelines, one where the Chitauri has actually won as well, and many other versions. And as well as that, we do have a Richard E. Grant joining the show, and the mysterious hooded figure who burned the camp down is probably actually the man himself, as he's a classically trained actor, and it looks like we are well in the past in this, and it does look like he is going through different time periods as well. As well as that, the court, or the time court that Loki is in, could possibly not be the Council of Kangs, but it might actually be the Council of like the Living Tribunal, Eternity, and things like that, because they did judge Thanos in the Infinity War comics. So that's an interesting thing there just to keep in mind. And that was a whistle-stop tour between those trailers, as there's just far too much for me to cover at the moment. But that is it for this video, so please do drop a like down below. Please do subscribe with notifications on, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.